Live from the Icebox Studio in Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania, it's the Bill and Corey Show.
I'm Bill.
And I'm Corey.
Welcome back. This is live edition number 110 of the Bill and Corey Show.
Whoa.
We're going to talk about flex.
Here we come, Simpsons.
Watch out. We're getting real close. Are they still making shows?
Yeah, I think they're still making Simpsons. I haven't watched them all, though. But.
You know, kind of like those old bands from the 50s. They're still around. It's like, no, they're not the same people.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the problem
not the
with
same
the
cartoon.
Well, it's
they're
not
different.
the same. Yeah,
Someone else is drawing it.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah,
Okay, we're going to talk about flex hoses today.
Yeah, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, we got a lot of flex hoses. You know, we have just about every type of flex hose we sell.
We have about, yeah.
We're going to talk first we're going to talk about our
bread and butter, the Cadillac, or what do we call it?
I don't know what you want to call it.
I don't know.
So this is 6040 series. It's a stainless steel convoluted core. It's got...
It's very convoluted. I don't understand it.
It's got armor on it. Basically, it's rated for 3,000 PSI. Maybe a little bit.
At 70-degree F.
We won't even get into that stuff. He had a question from a rocket scientist on the hoses. Okay, so there's a few things to talk about for these hoses. We sell these. We'll talk about the 3-foot one. It has things you got to look at for hoses. This has a bend radius. It's a 3-inch bend radius, which is really, some people think, 3 inches. No, well, it's the radius.
The radius, that means it's half.
It's half.
So it's one hand of the clock.
So that's 3-inch for static. That means no pressure in the hose. It's really not moving.
Has nothing to do with putting balloons on the ceiling, though. The static part. No, nothing like that.
Dynamics has to do anything with like flowing. It just has gas in it. So it's 6 inches. So basically like 12 inches. That's kind of your safe bend radius on it. Yeah, and this. So this is the 3-foot. This is our main one. We also sell
36 inches as well, depending on your flavor.
Yeah.
Almost a yard. Almost
so we keep it in the bag just because.
I mean, almost a meter. It is a yard. This is a yard. Oh, why don't we call it a yard? This is the yard.
Okay, this is a 6-foot hose. We use this.
That's a 2-yarder.
That's a 2-yarder. We use this for doers, typically for doers or 12-packs, big things that you're going to have hard parking in a tight spot.
Yeah, it gives you more
length.
length.
We sell, and this is really, it's funny because you think 6 foot, and then once you have it attached to a switchover, it's like, wow, why do you need something that long? And then we started...
Then people did need longer.
Oh, jeez. Some people went with it, and this is
what,
like...
a 10-footer?
What a 10-footer.
Man, I think plumbers are snaking things out with these things.
I don't know.
Doesn't it look like a snake at that point?
And I just think there's some people actually need the 10-footer. That's why we started. And you can buy these things with, we sell the 3, 6, and 10.
At store.mathesongas.com.
And you can custom make your hose like Build-A-Bear. You can put
different fittings on them.
Inlet fittings, different
outlet fittings.
You have a check valve, no check valve.
Mostly it's about inlets and outlets, though.
Yeah, it's mostly about inlets and outlets. Sometimes there's a check valve involved, and that's related to the inlet. So so you can we configure hoses. We can make them like that.
And we, if there's a fitting you want that we've never heard of, just tell us about it.
Just like, we do that all the time.
We do that,
goofy compression.
But that's
not for a hose.
Yeah.
So
still.
So there's main hoses. This is other hoses.
Oh yeah, we got lots of other non-main hoses.
So we're going to talk a little bit about metal hoses. Now the metal hose, you want to zoom in? We looked at this thing before. This is a cutaway hose. So it's got the armor on the outside, and it's got, actually inside core is your 1/4-inch ID. So that's convoluted stainless steel. That's where the gas is. The braids, this is double braided hose. So it's wire braid. Some of these hoses, you can see the braiding just on the outside. That's what holds in the pressure.
Yes.
Because the core can't hold 3,000 PSI. It needs the braiding to hold it in there. So it's really kind of a neat, I don't know how they came up with this stuff. It's really kind of a neat way of doing it.
Yeah.
And then we have the casing on the outside to protect the braiding and give you some other protection on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, metal hoses can fail prematurely due to improper handling.
So if you're
So people might say, hey, it's a metal hose. It's got to be tough.
Oh yeah.
Stainless steel. Ugh.
Let's just hang it off the side like this.
Oh, jeez. No, you can't.
No, we don't do that.
So people overestimate it because it's stainless steel. It's all metal.
Yeah,
just
they
like
put
a
food
car.
put food all over it, and they
Just
think,
like a car,
and then
yeah.
it stains it.
It's just, so, and it can be equally easy to underestimate the impact of exceeding design limits because you think it's tough.
Well, and the other thing to think about is this is to hold pressure from the inside out. And this armor on here helps, but it's not made to hold the...
we'll kind of...
All right. You're going to get... Am I jumping the gun?
Yeah, jumping the gun. So, so the reason why... Now, the braiding's the real... And this is another hose. The braiding's the real important part on there for holding the pressure.
And it's literally like braiding hair with metal.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's braided. I don't...
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they have... There's more into it. Like
So, yeah. So, it's like... Yeah. So what the armor does is it protects the braiding, because if the braiding's exposed, you could accidentally
pinch it.
You could scrape, and the braiding, they're just little wires, and just a whole bunch of little wires. So you could scrape the braiding if it hit abrasion or something like that. So the armor on the outside protects this braiding. Also protects your hands, because sometimes the little wires pop out, and that always hurts.
Oh, that hurts. Get a metal wire in your hand.
Yeah, you get a little. It's like one of those. That hurts. It's getting a little splinter thing.
I've done that.
Yeah, they can hurt. So it protects you from any of the stuff splintering, and it protects the braiding from getting damaged. That's
increases the life of your hose.
Key component of that. So some things so when you have hoses,
You want that guy?
you should. Keep in mind that
There's proper handling.
Well, we're talking about like inspection stuff.
Inspection, okay.
Okay. So you want to periodically inspect the hoses in order to recognize features which could lead to early replacement.
And it's similar to inspecting lots of things like tow ropes and
extension cords, climbing ropes.
All those things you just got to check and make sure there's no defect.
So if the braiding's exposed, you want to look for loosened, broken, frayed, or worn braiding. So you got to look over and go, hey, wait a minute, this is really worn down. That's going to affect it.
And a lot of times, if you are getting stuff in your fingers, that is kind of a sign that it might be a little bit worn as well if you're hurting yourself.
Deformation of the hose, including braid wear. We're talking about braiding a lot here.
Yeah, we do.
Twisting, kinking.
Well, that's what I mean.
Spots.
So one of the things the metal hose. I know. But if you, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But the armor around it stops you from.
Helps that you can still kink it.
You can still kink it, but
everybody has a garden hose.
Yeah.
Kink.
But I'm saying the metal hosing on the outside, the armor prevents you from being able to do that as well.
If you see it kinked, that's not good.
That's not good.
You see dents in it, that's not good. It should be kind of round. It should be round. So just it's not like garden hoses. A lot of times it's like it's got a kink in it.
Well, yeah, you just straighten it out and it fixes itself.
Flat, it's got a bulge. It's like well, you're just going to water some other part of the lawn. But for this.
It'll bend the metal if you kink it.
Or if you're using it and you look for severe corrosion or something, if you're using it in like a corrosive environment, you see a lot of corrosion on it. That's not good. Looser damaged guard or cover. So if you have it armored and you see that armor getting, you have the armor. Where's your armor?
You have it over here. Yeah, you took it from me.
Yeah, if this gets dented too much or just really kind of beat up, maybe it's time to swap it out. Or if you have, some hoses will have different kind of attachments that could be loose on it. But,
you always got to check it.
Yeah. So that's kind of like general inspection. So there's like other things like cords and stuff like that. You want to check it out. So with hoses, things you want to avoid is
torque. Unlike those gear heads that want to get all the torque in their cars and stuff.
Torque in your
hoses don't like that.
NASCAR's big on that torque.
You'll torque it right off.
Yeah. So the torque is the twisting of the hose. Really So you don't want to be twisting the hose.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much you can damage that with a lever. You get a lot of strength with a long enough wrench. You can really.
Yeah, you really don't want to be like doing that kind of stuff.
So one of the things they do is you put a wrench on, so you're not knowing it's a hose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If having stuff tightening or untightening, you want to have a backing wrench.
A backing wrench.
On the other side. Because when you're tightening something, you don't want to be...
Yes.
Yeah, if you have a fitting, like CGA fit, yeah,
you don't want this to counteract with your wrenches tightening down.
You don't want to be that twisting because that's not good.
It's not made for that type of stress.
Yeah, and you want to, ideally, you want to have, the hose is probably best to hang.
Yeah, you hang it like that.
You don't want to have it hanging too tight of a turn.
Nope. You want to make sure it has enough, they say if you have to go horizontal, you want to have at least 2 inches it goes out before you start.
And our hoses have collars on them that help support the hose out there. If you don't have a collar on that hose, but if you're connecting things up, you want to
keep it loose at the bottom. You want it hanging. You don't want it on the floor either.
You don't want to be like have it stretched out.
No. At that point, just get tubing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you want to.
I've seen at a cylinder fill plant, they had some cylinders hooked up to fill, and they got knocked over and stretched the hose. And it was a Teflon cord hose, I think, and it actually yanked the hose like 2 inches long. It's a 3-foot hose and went.
Oh wow!
I mean 36. It was like 38 or something.
Wow, that's impressive.
And you might not.
You might not notice that.
You might not notice that, but as a weak hose, it's like, you can't. So if you hook it up to a cylinder, the cylinder falls over and it's holding the cylinder up. Time to get a new hose.
Yeah.
And there's other things with the, you really don't want to have it move in two different
directions
and stuff.
Move it in one plane so you keep
still
it
that whole torsional thing going on. You want to avoid overbending. Repetitive bending and smaller radiuses aren't good.
Like way out of line. Like you want to keep it in line, so you don't want to.
And you don't want to have it
there we go. Yeah.
Scraping. Especially the armor helps you if you're like your hose is dragging, like your 10-foot hose. Hopefully it's not dragging around on the ground.
No, and one of the things hoses do when you pressure them up is they expand as well. Yeah. You'll see a little bit of expansion. So if you have a bunch of hoses in tight together. Yeah. And you don't allow for expansion, that can be a problem because that's part of the way it holds pressure is it has room to expand.
So, handle the hose with care. Don't pre-flex it like, I'm going to
Don't use it. Don't use it for
pull-ups. I'm going to make it more flexible by moving it around. Moving around is good. If you try to I know, I'll just work it and get a tighter bend radius.
Yeah.
Now you're really damaging the hose that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's holding a lot of pressure, so handle with, make sure to handle with care so you don't compromise that, that part of it.
About braid hoses and stuff like that. So this is our braided hose. Next up, this is a hose it's the same hose.
But without the armor.
It's without the armor. This is shorter. This is a 30-inch hose, not a 36-inch hose.
This one must be the one that's more like
this is a... We use this hose. It's different too. It's got a male pipe thread on this end. I'll keep the cap on so I don't damage the thread. Female pipe thread on this end. This is for our
our mini manifold.
Our mini manifolds.
Yes, because if you put too many of these in here, it's not enough room.
It doesn't fit. But this is the mini manifold was. We had some salespeople wanted us to sell something a little less expensive than our robust.
Yeah,
Some people just need a quick and easy manifold, and they didn't need a super robust. So we came up with this. You can put easily 4 hoses in there.
5 if you. I know you don't like me saying 5.
Put 5, but that's for other things.
Yeah.
Put a vent or something.
You can put a vent.
So
valve.
these screw in there, and it's cheaper without the armor on it. But a lot of people.
The armor protects the braids, and that's
Yeah, a lot of people don't
need. I mean, if you're not going to be if you're going to be nice to them, you might not need the armor.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what is that? Are we on that guy yet? Where are we next?
I got to chip.
We can do the half-inch.
Let's see. Next up.
Oh man.
With all this stuff, we're going to talk about the 6086. This is our half-inch.
Look at this guy.
It's 3 foot long. Bad idea to have that.
Yeah, bad idea to have that, but we'll show the difference in size.
Yeah, so that's a half-inch. This is a 6 foot.
Half-inch. Now this one,
Now this one has a 18-inch bend radius, which really means 3 feet. So this so when you're doing with this thing, this is as tight as you can.
Yeah, it's almost not useful to get a 3 foot, half-inch hose.
Sounds like a good idea, but it's not.
But
But sometimes
pipe and you just mount it.
It works. Sometimes that's going to work for you.
If you put it like this and mount it in the middle,
It's
so
really
it's like
tough. Yeah, so this is a 18-inch bend radius, so that's really, so you got to have your cylinders really got to be 3 feet away.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Don't try to we can flex it. No, it's about what you're going to do.
And you're definitely not putting those in 2 torsional planes.
So, yeah.
that one's not going to let you.
Yeah, it gets tricky flexing it up. Then we've got, this is our Monel. Oh, and what's important to look at is, of course, the pressure rating on this.
Oh, yeah, on
this
the
is
stamps.
actually rated to 3,500 PSI.
Yeah.
Half-inch hoses.
And this is the Monel one.
This is the Monel one.
And
you
it's
can read
stamped
that.
on there.
It's like
it says 2755 PSIG at 7 degree F.
Oh, careful.
Oh, I don't.
So this is Monel. So this is Monel's a little more corrosion resistant.
Yes.
We had a customer they bought a bunch of these and then they stopped buying them. So we got a lot of these. They're value priced.
Yeah.
So corrosion.
If you know Monel, you know Monel.
If you want, but it can't. It only goes 2755. Most of your corrosive gases are lower pressure.
Yeah.
A few hundred psi vapor pressure or something like that.
So it's typically not a problem. Yeah.
So yeah, you can't use this on a 3,000 pound cylinder. So it's.
You can't use it with nitrogen.
And Corey was reading it was etched here on here. So hoses should be. Hoses should have the pressure etched on there.
Yep.
Or have a tag on there telling your pressure. So, but really with, yes, this is for the instance when you've got corrosive gases and you need flexibility. The problem with flex hoses is that it's corrugated stainless steel, corrugated metal. So you get a lot of little
nooks and crannies.
We talked about that before.
Yeah, it's a really bad, the English muffin.
Yeah, so it's with corrosive gases, you really should have rigid pigtails for that. But sometimes you need a flex hose.
And in fact, most of our panels, our corrosive panels, we offer
rigid,
only
it's pretty much
rigid
only
pigtail.
rigid pigtails. Now we're talking about pressure rating. We're going to pull up this one. This is a hose.
See that guy.
And you look at it, you go, oh, that's just like the other hoses.
Looks like what I hooked my toilet to.
Well, no, this is used in our Gas Track Pro to connect the regulator up to the inlet piping, and that's so you can pull the panel off and you get some flexibility there. It's 18 inches. This is only rated to 1,500 PSI, and it's stamped right on it. So when you pick up a hose, you might think, oh yeah, this is just like, it's got braiding on it.
Yeah, it's the same.
Metal, same thing. No. This is only 1,500. So you put that on a regular cylinder, and it might blow.
Yeah.
So
Might spring a leak.
Look at the pressure ratings.
Yes, pressure ratings always.
And what else we got for hoses here?
Let's see here.
Oh, we got shorter hoses.
Oh, we got this guy right here with the elbow.
Yeah, it's a foot long. That was a mistake.
Is it a $5 foot long?
I think this might have been a mini manifold hose, and then you have the elbow because there's not much. You can't bend too much, so it's hard to do like a manifold to a cylinder thing. So this helps you out. So you could go, to the cylinder, and this is for a manifold sticking up. So if you had it coming out just straight, you really don't have the bend radius.
Yeah.
So this kind of helps you out on short hoses. A lot of times you'll see them with elbows.
Yeah.
So we got this, and we got this one. Does that have an elbow? Oh, that one doesn't have an elbow.
No elbow on that one.
Okay, so that's some special.
That's one without an elbow.
Yeah. So, this is another one. 1.5 feet with an elbow.
Foot and a half. Yeah, that doesn't bend that much either. Yeah.
No, it really doesn't. So, and it's got armor on it. So. Okay, and then we got stuff.
Oh, we got the big. This one is also. It's the same internal diameter as this one.
Yeah, half-inch.
Half-inch. Look at that.
But it's nylon. It's got different braiding on it.
And importantly, what you were just talking about, what is it stamped on it?
It's stamped on here.
What's the pressure rating?
It says 22.
2250. I see it. 2250.
Yeah, 2250. On some of these hoses that are not metal coated, you can print on there, so it'll tell you all sorts of stuff on here. It's an ISO thing, and it's got 1/2 inch, and it tells you the working pressure, 2250 on there.
The tread size, the wall, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a tire.
No, it is like a tire. That's what I was saying. It's
a,
very similar to how they print on a tire.
These come flare fittings, swivel ends. This is for laser
Which is nice,
service.
yeah.
Yeah, the swivel ends are nice.
These guys, ugh.
Yeah, you can't
swivel.
Kind of
you can't swivel.
So that's I think we covered just about everything.
And what is that did we even mention what that's typically used for?
No, I said laser.
Oh, you did lasers?
application.
Oh, laser application. Yeah, I didn't. Okay, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's labeled. It's labeled that, and for the application, it works great.
Now you can't use lasers on it. It'll burn.
No,
it'll probably burn right through it.
It's for laser gases.
It's for laser gases.
So yeah, we pretty much.
Yeah, and where can you find all of these? Pretty much.
Pretty much online stores.
Store.mathesongas.com.
Yeah, you configure. Some of these can be configured. Some of them you just buy. Actually, these 1/2 inch ones aren't yet on the store. Haven't gotten to that yet. That should be soon.
Yeah, there you go.
Now next week we're talk about setting up to do high purity welding.
Yes, that's right.
So you're doing high purity welding. You got to have a purge gas going through there. And typically like an argon, pure argon going through, and you want to have a continual supply.
And we're setting up one.
You want to have it purified, because if you have moisture in there, you're going to get some browning, I guess.
And too much oxygen. You just
you could kind of. That's why you purge it. So you don't need oxygen. So yeah, you need purge gases, and the purge gas has to be clean. So we're going to talk about purifiers and supply systems for that. So tune in again next week for another live edition of the Bill and Corey Show.
Set your VCRs.